So, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast. This week we'll be taking a brief pit stop into the wacky world of Formula E, then talking about the big things of this week, which is Formula 1 2021, the official video game, is releasing on Friday/Tuesday, depending on how much money you gave to EA Sports. And more on that later. And it's race week. We're going to Silverstone. However, for the first time in Formula One, it's 2 race week. 2 races in one weekend. Again, more on that later. So, let's get started. Formula E. A few weeks back, we were in Puebla, Mexico. I just want to start off Formula E by saying, what the hell has happened to Mercedes?
No clue. Didn't they?
Like,
last
at the
race...
start of the season, they looked like the most dominant car on the grid.
Yeah, they won the first race.
Ever since that, they just have looked, well, guff.
Where else have we seen that?
I was going to say, that sounds somewhat familiar.
Didn't Stoffel win the race and then they've just gone downhill? Was it something like that?
Yeah,
Pretty much,
Stoffel and De Vries won races.
I mean, you want
and
to
then
talk about
it just tanked.
Yes.
talk about downhill. Try Verline. Wins
He's
the
just
race,
cursed.
gets disqualified for
Yeah.
tyres not being declared.
Yeah.
He's like Hulkenberg, the Formula E, I think. Just
And that
absolutely
is-
cursed, apart from it's for wins, not for podium.
Yeah, it's not a title that you want, that is it?
But I mean, Hulkenberg was a solid driver. He just couldn't put it on the podium.
Yeah, it's solid if you wanted to achieve P4 as your highest ever result.
Yeah, I'll take that. If I'm
Yeah, some drivers would kill for that.
I mean, you're in Formula One for quite a while, so yeah, I'd take
Yeah.
it.
It's a
I mean, I'd
highest
take a
career
seat.
best finish than George Russell, and everyone says he's the next best driver on the grid.
In fairness, Nico
Nico
was in a
Hulkenberg,
lot better cars
Better than George Russell, confirmed.
Hulkenberg to Williams, maybe.
That is in the rumour mill, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's one of the
there's been
names
all
that are being
sorts.
floated.
Daniel Kvyat's the other one I saw.
And Valtteri Bottas is mentioned in conversation.
Dixon seems to be out of it, so he could well end up in Formula E.
Apparently he's left the Williams Driver Academy.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know
I've
if he's
seen that
left, but he's
floated around.
been thrown out of contention basically by anyone for the seat.
Yeah,
No one's expecting him to get the seat.
seems a bit harsh considering
He
doing a
doesn't
very
have
good
that
job.
Nissan money.
Yeah, if Roy Nissany gets the Williams seat, I think that will just devalue F1.
Riots on
forever,
the
to be
streets.
honest.
I mean, F1's already been devalued. We've got Mazepin.
I think out of any of the academy drivers, it's going to be Jack Aitken because he's already done a race.
Could be, yeah.
Coming back to
Yeah.
Richard's point very briefly, I think I would rather have Mazepin than Roy Nissany.
Probably is better.
That's a bold statement, to be honest.
Bold
I mean,
prediction.
at
in
least
terms
he
of
actually
on
scored
track.
points.
On track, yeah.
Has
in terms of
Nissany
on
actually
track.
scored a point?
Yeah, he got a podium in Monaco, didn't he?
Yeah, he has got a few points, but
Yeah, but that's Monaco. You qualify in the top 3 and you've got a podium.
Yeah, it was. I think it was reverse
Was it-
grid as well.
I was going to say, was it the reverse grid sprint
Yeah.
race?
I think it was.
Convenience.
If I park it in
fairness-
P10, I'll win the next one.
I was about to say, in fairness, he had to get into the top 10 in the previous race to be there. So, but yeah, as you say, you park it in P10 in race 1, you're winning race 2.
Yeah. Well, barring any of your own mistakes, but that's
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I do
Monaco
feel,
for you. We discussed that in length a few weeks ago.
yes.
I do feel bad.
Go
for
back
Tictum,
and watch
though,
that
but
one.
I do feel very bad for Tictum. It's this whole system again of what's the point of competing in F2? He's doing very well. He's just not going to get a seat.
I'd be more disappointed if Aitken didn't get it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think we're discussing the wrong category
Yeah.
here.
I was going to say, should we get back to Puebla?
I can see Tictum in Formula E, to be fair. I can definitely
I think it's
see
a
it.
possibility. He could follow De Vries.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Not
He's
can
shown
sort
that
of
it
character,
works, you
like-
know.
yeah.
Like,
But
Tictum won't get a Merc seat in Formula E, but he might get a Neo 333 seat or something.
I think you'd take any race seat over no race seat, wouldn't you?
True.
So
True. But yeah, Puebla, round 8 and round 9 of the Formula E World Championship.
Rusty
And
turn 1.
it finished like this in race 1. So it was won by, once this document loads, there we go.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Degrassi wins again. Rennie Rast, Mortara, Sims, Dennis, DaCosta. Van Dorn scored points at least. He got 6 points in P7.
De Vries got points as well in P9.
Yeah, De
Got 2
Vries.
points.
So, should have been better, but I don't know. I think this group qualifying format really hurts the Mercedes car. I don't think it's set up to be rapid on poor track conditions. I would be really interested, though, to see group qualifying in Formula One. Like the Red Bulls going out on the Red Bulls, the Mercedes, the McLarens going out on a green track and having to set a lap, and then everyone else getting the benefit of track evolution and seeing who could make it out the groups into Super Bowl.
Part of me's like, throw attack mode in Formula One. Why not?
Yeah, just bring back
Because now that we've banned engine mode changes,
bring back engine mode changes, but
add an
as
attack mode,
Mm.
you can go, you're allowed to turn your engine up by X% for 4 minutes. Have at it.
I actually really like attack mode. That's the
Yeah.
thing. For
think
Formula E, it's great.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't see now why it wouldn't work in Formula One.
Yeah.
There'll always
I
be
mean,
the argument
everyone
in
ripped the
purists,
mick
though.
out of it and called it the Mario Kart boosts.
The
But it's-
mushrooms.
Yeah. Well, no, the boost pads.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But it's actually created some really good strategy and some really good racing.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
the location of it in Puebla caused a few incidents, though.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite a good placement at first, and then everyone sort of started crashing into each other on the exit, and then I thought, maybe not.
Sounds almost like what was going to happen in Vietnam if we went there.
Yeah, true.
Believe it or not, Vietnam's actually been floated as a replacement for Australia.
Really?
Some people are putting that forward as a possible replacement.
Blimey.
Oh, it was all corrupt, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought the contract got cancelled.
Oh.
I think people are saying it because it's in fact, it's like one of the only ones that would have like the right weather. If that makes sense.
Fuji Speedway.
I don't know what the Japan climate in November's like.
I mean, we go to Japan in October for a reason.
Yeah.
And
we still get typhoons.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we still get qualifying cancelled.
Okay, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks after we went to Suzuka.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm saying, Fuji still has its grade 1 license. It's there.
We'll see where we go. Who else rounded out the top 10? Where were we? Mitch Evans in 8th, De Vries in 9th, and Alex Lynn in the Mahindra in 10th. In race 1 in Puebla. It was a half decent race. There was quite a few good moves, but I mean, I feel like we're just going to be repeating ourselves because every race in Formula E pretty much was a pretty good race with some pretty good moves through the field. You don't really get a boring Formula E race.
Usually
Even Monaco. Even Monaco was amazing.
Yeah, I'd say that with Formula E, the ones on an actual track aren't as exciting as street races. I will say that.
Yeah, Valencia says hello.
Yeah. Well, the end of the second Valencia race was exciting.
After the end of the first one was interesting.
Wait, I can't.
Half the field breaking down
Yeah,
and then DNFing.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That was a disaster.
And then half the field getting disqualified as well.
Chris, I just want to bring your attention to something. I'm looking at the Formula E site.
Yeah.
Round 8 of...
Yeah.
It says Verline scored 4 points, but he got disqualified.
Yeah. Yes, he did score 4 points.
Oh,
yes, he was disqualified.
I think.
Pole position.
And fastest lap in group qualifying. 3 points for pole, 1 point for being the fastest in the groups. 4 points.
Okay, fair enough. Just checking, because that was a bit strange to scroll through a bunch of zeros and then a
Because
4.
We did flag that up a few weeks back
Yeah, I've
in
slept
one of the
since then.
earlier Formula E rounds. And we're like, he was disqualified. How's he scored points? I went and looked into it. That was how.
Yeah, I've slept since then, so I completely forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. Round 9. Here we are. Classification race.pdf. I don't need the CSV file, thank you. And it was won by, technically, a Mercedes, but not a Mercedes. It was won by Eduardo Mortara for Rocket Venturi Racing, who happens to drive in the Mercedes-Benz EQ Silverado 02. Because in Formula E, you don't just give a team an engine, you give a team an entire car. And you're like, here you go, this is yours now.
I mean,
Drive.
it's no surprise that Rocket Venturi Racing have the Mercedes, considering the team principal is Susie Wolf.
Exactly. Well, we would like to stress that Toto has nothing to do with the Formula E team.
Yes. Yes.
On an official capacity.
On an official capacity. Isn't he like one of the CEOs of Mercedes-Benz Autosport or something?
He's a major shareholder in the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has some say to a degree.
Yeah.
He
doesn't have an official role, but he does just go to races because he's Toto Wolff. And
yeah, he sometimes turns up to the races because he can.
Goes to support his wife. He's just a caring husband. What can you say?
He supports his wife.
Wearing the team kit of a different team.
Yeah.
Sitting in their garage.
Yeah, supporting his wife in a different team.
Yes. But yeah, so De Vries didn't finish. He stopped driving on lap 8, as you do. I can't remember why he DNF'd. I can't remember if it was a crash or if he just broke down. Probably a crash. You don't get many mechanical failures in Formula E compared to Formula 1.
Yeah, I think he crashed or something.
Yeah.
There was plenty of carbon fibre going about the place, so...
Yeah. And then it was won by Mortara, as we said. Cassidy in second. Roland in third with the same amount of points as Nick Cassidy. They both scored 18 points. Verline in fourth. Jake Dennis in fifth. Alex Lynn in sixth. Maximilian Gunther in seventh. Jean-Eric Verne in eighth. Mitch Evans in ninth. And Rennie Rast in 10th. 2 points.
I was going to say, it was round 9 that Da Costa binned it, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah,
he just
ran classified.
Yeah, he ran wide and just smashed the wall. He did his best Gunther Steiner's principal door impression.
Smash my door.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, what Mazepin gave to Gunther. That's some good banter. I'll say that.
Yeah, I feel like but I feel like they're trying too hard to improve his public image at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was a bit scripted.
Yeah, definitely the media team at Haas are like, right, do this.
What can we do?
The social media team know what they're doing.
Yeah. The social media team are great.
Yeah, they're just making the best out of a very bad hand.
Imagine working for Haas.
I always do wonder
I'd
what
take it.
I always do wonder what the people at Haas think of having
working at Haas.
It's that meme. On the one hand, greatness and Mick Schumacher. On the other hand, pain.
I think I follow a couple of the Haas engineers on TikTok, and like they sometimes reply to people asking like, what do you think of Mazepin in your team? And they say like, he's decent, like he's all right. And just as I was going to say, as a person, he's not all right as a person. Definitely not.
He is in the office setting.
Yeah. Like he's all right then, but then if you ignore everything he's done, he's all right. But then he's done everything he's done. You just can't put it past it.
No, exactly.
Can't look past it, really.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of what they were all saying.
But coming back to Formula E, we had round 10 and round 11 in New York City, and round 10 finished like this after a pretty good race as well. Oh dear, I don't want the weather windows. Thank you. I can see out my window. So Maximilian Gunther won from Jean Verne, Degrassi, Cassidy, France, Boemi, Roland, Lauter, Bird, and Rennie Rast rounding out the points again. From what I've seen of it, I didn't get to watch the whole race. I had quite a busy weekend.
I was at Goodwood, so I couldn't watch it.
I was at work, and then I was at Euro 2020 for the last time. But yeah, it was a pretty good week. It was a pretty good race. A few interesting collisions, which led to a couple of time penalties. Oh no, sorry, that's the next race. Wrong race.
Rewind.
I'm getting my rounds confused.
See, this is why you don't have back-to-back races at the same
In
venue,
the same
at
venue,
the same weekend.
Yeah. It just epitomised what's going on with Mercedes. That's what I want. Van Dorn didn't finish. De Vries finished 13th. 27 seconds off the lead. Now,
The Mercedes seem to be all right at coming. Like they usually qualify towards the bottom, and they're usually all right at coming up towards like P10. Then they just don't.
then they just
Yeah.
Sounds like a Valtteri Bottas sort of thing. He makes it through the bottom half of the field and then gets stuck behind George.
Now, compare this to round 1 in Derrida, where De Vries won the race by nearly 5 seconds. And now he's not finishing, and Van Dorn is 27 seconds off the leader. Just, I don't understand how the team can capitulate that badly. Group qualifying will be the point, but after this weekend, they're not even in Group 1 anymore.
Well, that's like
Before-
the F1 play when drivers get moved groups.
Yeah. Speaking of, I
Before-
forgot to do that for the last race. I need to remember this weekend.
Before New York, weren't Mercedes leading the championship, or before Puebla? They
I
were
think it was
leading the
before
championship.
Puebla.
They were leading the championship at some point, and now
They've led the championship most of the season,
now they're
and now
fifth.
they're just not. Yeah. So after Puebla, yeah, you're right. They were leading the championship by 3 points after round 9, and now they're fifth.
Yeah.
They scored 23 points. 33 points in Derrida round 1. 3 points in Derrida round 2. 3 points in Rome. 26 points in Rome round 4. 40 points in Valencia round 5. Nothing in Valencia round 6. Nothing in Monaco round 7. 8 in Puebla round 1. Nothing in Puebla round 9. It's so up and down.
They haven't scored points the last 3 races.
Again, then
Yeah.
nothing in either New York race.
Just show up like every 5 races and win the championship.
Well, I
That way.
mean, when you're scoring 40 points a weekend, I don't think any
Yeah.
other team has got a 40.
I mean, hey, if it works.
Yeah, no other team has scored the 40 points available in a single race. Oh no, sorry, I take that back. Audi Sport Floor Formula E team scored 44 points in a weekend in Puebla.
Puebla.
And DS Techeetah scored 41 in Monaco. But yeah, it's just, I don't get it. And I don't know if Mercedes fully get it either. The body language of the team and stuff is pretty much, well, what's happened? How have we gone from being the best car on the grid to guff?
To this.
Yeah.
It does sound familiar.
Yeah.
I mean, considering they were, what was it, like 30 seconds clear of Verstappen in Portugal, to then a minute behind him in Monaco 2 races later.
Yeah.
Mm.
awkward.
I don't know how connected the two teams are. I'm not trying to suggest that this.
Oh, no, they're
Well, bad
probably
in
No.
Puerto
they're probably
Rico.
completely
I don't
separate
think they're
entities. They just have
connected
the
at
same
all.
badge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the same
just
They
owners.
maybe
the-
use the same
Same owners,
factory.
yeah.
A happy coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the same owners, and that's it, really.
The same man with the purse strings.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, that's Formula E. Next race is in London.
I might be going to the first one, maybe.
Mm,
For the girls on track thing, if I get chosen, I might be going. Woo.
interesting. Was that the FIA program?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like girls aged 8 to 18 can go and look like behind the scenes and everything.
yeah.
Damn.
Oh, I'm getting that mixed up with the FIA Rising Stars program,
Oh,
But-
yeah.
which guaranteed a Formula 3 seat. I'm like, yeah, you didn't tell us you were a racing driver.
That's impressive.
Sorry, I just forgot to mention it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just gone and won Formula 4 Britain. She'll
Yeah.
be back next weekend and
Yeah.
have won Formula 4 Germany.
She's going to be the first female in Formula One.
Can beat
Yeah,
Jamie
exactly.
Chadwick to the
Without
jump.
telling anyone.
Yeah.
Just turns up next week. Oh yeah, guys, I signed for Haas. I'm replacing Mazepin.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I'm a very successful racing driver, but also I told a story about how I just couldn't turn the cart and drove into a wall.
That's
One
your
of
decoy
these
card.
things. She's played the long con.
Yeah.
Oh, one last thing on Formula E before we move on. The Season 8 provisional calendar has been released. We'll be opening the season on January 28th in Diriyah for a doubleheader, before going to Mexico City on February 12th, then off to Cape Town on February 26th, China on March 19th, Rome in April 9th. I know I just said China, but that's because that's what Formula E says. They haven't decided where they're going in China. They're just going to China.
Oh.
Rome on April 9th, Monaco on April 30th, Berlin on May 14th. We've got a TBD round on June 4th. Then it's a month off before Vancouver on July 2nd. A double header in New York, July 16th and 17th. Doubleheader in London, July 30th and 31st, before we round off the season in Seoul, Korea on August 13th and 14th. So a 16-round calendar, which is pretty strong. And unlike Formula One, a race in Africa.
That's something we need in
However,
F1.
Still-
not a race in Australasia,
Still no Antarctic race either. So
or Antarctic race.
not really a world championship.
So-
just gonna say.
Formula E is hitting 5 of the 6 continents. Well, technically no race in South America, so it's 4 of the 6 raceable continents, because it's Mexico City, not
Yeah, that's still technically north, isn't it?
yeah,
Yikes.
no Brazil race or anything like that yet.
We go to Brazil. I mean, we hopefully go to Brazil.
Yeah, as I say, Formula One could lose that South American race.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, well, given that they've already cancelled Melbourne,
Yeah,
I feel like it's probably an inevitability that we're going to lose Sao Paulo.
I mean, they can cancel Sao Paulo a bit later because it's a permanent circuit. It's not like they have to build it.
Yeah, true.
And again, they'd already started building Albert Park.
Had they? It's not till November.
Yeah, they'd started the build.
Blimey. I mean, I know they were doing the refurb, but Christ, that's...
Yeah, like getting the new track layout and stuff, they were getting it ready.
I mean, yeah, they were re-tarmacking, but they weren't putting in any of the, like...
I don't think they were
cycles or
putting up the
anything.
grandstands
No,
and
yeah,
stuff,
no.
but they
I
were
was gonna
getting the
say-
circuit ready. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's because they dug the thing up. They needed a circuit.
Yeah. Probably
don't know
because
why,
FIA
but-
homologation is due soon.
I feel like I can see a Saudi Arabia doubleheader coming. That's my
I don't-
instinct.
I don't want to give judgment on a Saudi Arabia doubleheader until I've seen a Saudi Arabia race. because for all we know, this Jeddah race could be absolutely outstanding, but equally it could be utter guff.
True. I
It's
just think the whole
it's very much an unknown.
So
Mm.
we
it's
go
all
to
the politics
Brazil.
around it, though.
We go to Brazil 2 weeks before, and 2 weeks before that we're in America. So
Yeah.
we could stay on the American side of things, go Cota, Mexico, Brazil,
Up to Indy.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, or even back to Kota.
I mean, yeah, they were apparently owner of Indianapolis was at Goodwood, and apparently they were looking to try and bring Formula One back there. So
I'd be happy to see it go back.
I mean, I'd be happy, especially if it was filling in a gap.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Just as long
Was
as the
it
tires
forgiven?
don't start exploding, glares
Was
at
it-
like
he did
2005.
The fans have forgiven F1. Yeah.
Formula One 2021 comes out this week, and depending how much money you've given EA, the new owners of Codemasters, you're either getting it to play it now, I think.
yeah, it'll be out. In,
Yeah, it'll be out now. By the
minus
time you're
18
listening
hours
to this, or
in
on
3 days'
Friday.
time.
Yes. What time does it release?
Midnight.
Tomorrow for
Midnight.
us. Is it midnight or is it 1 a.m.?
Technically, if you've got it on Steam and you change your computer system to Australia hours, you can already play it.
Yeah.
So
But I don't. I have it on Xbox.
doesn't
Big
work
brain
on
plays.
Xbox. I
Yeah.
did try it.
Big brain plays.
Sad times.
F1 2021 is out. Let's have a discussion. Guess the main point, breaking point. What do we all think of F1's first proper story?
Yeah, well, it goes
Yeah.
over multi-seasons for the first
Yeah.
time. So
The only thing I know about it is the characters have Twitter accounts, as in actual Twitter accounts.
Yeah, that was a bit of
I
a
saw
weird one.
that. I think I follow one of them.
did not know this.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
I want to go and follow Devin Butler now.
I think that's how I do. Oh, hold on.
See, you might want to check if that's a real official Twitter account or if that's one
Yeah.
of the fake Devin Butler accounts that were made after F1 2019.
No, I
no,
think
they have
it
Everyone
is.
loved them so
It
much.
is the actual
Yeah.
one. I think.
They have made accounts for all of the characters. Like
Yeah.
even like one of the drivers' mums, I think, has an account.
Yeah.
Probably the driver you drive as, Alex
Probably, yeah.
or something. I think.
Aiden Jackson.
Aiden Jackson. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Alex.
Yeah.
For FIFA. That's my worry. Is it just going to be F1's version of the journey?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm slightly
They
concerned.
started development of this before EA took over, didn't they?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
they
feel
would
like-
have to have,
Yeah,
because
because it was
EA joined mid-development cycle.
yeah, and that we had the whole Devon Butler thing in 2019's game.
Yeah.
So
These are actual, as in the actual F1 game account has tagged these ones. So like
Yeah,
Devin Butler it's his actual, like the game's actual account.
yeah.
And quite a lot of them
Yeah,
do, but
I think they started developing it in 2019 when they saw how much we all hated Devin Butler, and they wanted to give us an excuse to hate him even more. And having seen like some of the videos that reveal the first hour of gameplay that were released last week, I am going to hate him even more because he's so pretentious in this year's game.
I will confirm I will have 2 different saves going. One where I just beat him by beating him, and the other where I beat him by doing a caveat.
I seem to
Also,
remember on the. I seem
for
to remember
those of
when they.
you who were concerned about our Lord and Saviour, Mahavir Raghunathan, he is in the game. Breaking Point starts in 2019 Formula 2. Spoilers. I mean, it doesn't matter where it starts. It could have started in 2025. But Raghunathan is in the game. Be aware.
I'm a little bit concerned that I've said in the past I don't think Codemasters have, for a company that makes the F1 games, they don't have the best understanding of the sport. I mean, you see the pecking order of what the fastest car is in their opinion, and some of the track limits rules. I'm slightly concerned it's going to be.
The pecking order is usually taken from pre-season testing, or even just its last year's pecking order when the game first releases.
and
Yeah,
they just never
they-
update it,
And a performance
Yeah.
patch will come out in a month or so.
or 6 months, because the Ferrari, well, they
The
say
Ferrari one
the
took a
Ferrari,
while.
they supposedly, they finally sorted it out, but even so, you still see it qualifying at the front. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's all a bit of a mess. I'm slightly worried this, I haven't looked at any spoilers or anything, but this story mode is going to be very far from what a driver's life in the paddock is actually like, I think. I mean, one of the characters looks about 60 years old anyway, I swear.
But yeah, that's allowed. He just might not be a driver.
No, he is. He's a driver, isn't
I
One of
mean,
the-
look at Lawrence Stroll.
he? No, he's a driver. One of the
Kimmy.
characters.
Yeah, Kimmy. Yeah.
That's true. He is about 74. But
It's oh god, it's you know when like everyone's talking about your earliest F1 memory, and mine's like I remember Kimi Räikkönen's debut season. That's 2001, by the way.
Yeah.
Mine was, I remember them talking about one of Lewis Hamilton's championship on BBC News. I think it might have been 2007. All I remember is I
Doesn't-
went downstairs
if he won it,
breakfast going to
2008.
primary school.
Mm.
Or so whatever, the first one. I think
Eight.
2008, yeah. I always think it's 2007 for some reason.
That's Kimi's year.
I remember that, watching
The
that
Chinese.
exact lot.
Oh
Yeah.
god,
I
that gravel
just,
trap.
I
Now,
just
I would
remember
just
seeing
like to
on the
point out
news.
Kimi Räikkönen made his official F1 debut in terms of a race the day before I was born.
I wasn't.
It must have been the year I was born.
I wasn't born.
I was.
Which was like, I feel so old.
I was 4.5.
I
By
was
contrast.
T- 1 day.
Oh god.
Yeah,
so old.
I wouldn't be born until 3 years later.
Yeah,
So
we know you're
technically
young, shut up.
Hasn't Kimi been racing longer than like half the grid's been alive?
yeah, he's raced against like both generations of
No,
Verstappen, Schumacher.
Well, yeah, in terms of like
Yuki-
when he
Yuki-
started racing, yeah.
Yuki
but
was
Formula
9 and a
One,
half.
no,
Yuki was about 9 years old. No, years old.
9 months. old.
Months, 9 months old when Kimi debuted, and I think Fernando as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, they debuted in the same season.
What
Yeah,
are you talking about? Fernando is a young and upstart rookie that only debuted this season.
yeah.
He was in the young driver test. He had to be
Yeah.
a rookie this year. What are we on about? It's Fernando Alonso Jr., of course.
So also in new for this year in the Formula One game, 2-player career, which I'll be interested to get my hands on and start playing.
Hopefully, we'll bring you some content from that.
Yeah, we might very well do.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that
Nia,
one.
did you get the game?
Yeah.
No, okay.
No.
But she's on PC anyway, so
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I
we were hoping crossplay might have been a thing.
I barely have enough money left to have
That-
Goodwood.
That hasn't been confirmed.
yeah, I haven't seen
So
it
I
on
don't
any
think
press
it's
releases.
happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be good.
I feel
Yeah, I barely have enough money left after Goodwood, so.
Yeah.
So there's 3 of us are going to have the game, which means we can have 4 sets of 2-player careers going. So,
I feel like now that EA have taken over, it's going to
Sorry,
go
three,
one of
three.
2 ways.
yeah,
It's either going to mean that crossplay is going to come next year, or it's never going to come,
yeah,
because we've seen it with FIFA.
Oh, it's
and I
never
know
going to come. This is EA.
you see it with FIFA on the transfer market. They're all an Ultimate Team. It's all different. You're either on PC, you're on PlayStation, or you're on Xbox, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I mean, don't get me started on EA. I hope you're looking forward to having to pay for all of the race suits and the gloves and
I mean,
some. Well, as if
if-
the servers couldn't get any work.
if they
It's
keep
already
it-
impossible to do a 5-lap race without the game
Yeah.
breaking in some way. So now EA have got their hands on it.
mm,
I dread to think what
if
it's
they
going to be
keep
like.
if they keep the podium pass, I'll be okay with that.
yeah. I think they will,
yeah.
because you get pet coins as part of a pre-order bonus. So I think the podium pass is sticking around.
Yeah,
at
it's
least for
just
this year.
what's in it as well, because you know
Yeah.
you see the season pass on COD, but then you also get operator bundles that drop halfway through the season, and they cost more COD points, and
Yeah.
so now it's EA. It's time to milk the cash cow. Not that FIFA's a billion-dollar industry or anything.
And also new for this season is live season drop-in. So as the season progresses, you can pick up a sort of career mode like save from where the point of the calendar is.
Yeah, that's kind of awkward considering they're not changing the calendar though.
That does confuse me in that respect. Yes. How
Oh
does
yes,
that
it's
work?
a live calendar. Yeah, but it's not, is it? It's not.
Yeah, like what if we go to Malaysia?
Well, yeah, it's gonna be what should have been.
Like, will we race in Australia and the live calendar drop in, or will they add Malaysia?
I mean, at this point, Codemaster's so far behind with the calendar.
Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
they said they weren't even changing Canada.
Actually, I
It's like
don't
one of the
understand
first
it all.
things to change.
Like, even when like they said they can't add Turkey, it was on F1 2011. They made it like 10 years ago. I mean, I know it would need updating, like the
Yeah,
graphics,
but Styria, change the flag,
Even-
done.
Yeah.
even like the Australian layout, they can't do apparently. Imola they had on 2013.
Have
Apparently
they
it's not gonna be there.
even updated Spain Turn 10?
No, apparently not.
Oh my god.
Abu Dhabi's not going to be correct either. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, in fairness, we did only just find out about Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's more understandable, but Australia's been on the cards for a while.
Yeah. Australia I knew about last year.
It's just
Because
not
they
good enough,
basically
you know?
confirmed it not long after the race got cancelled. They were like, yeah, when you come back next year, we're going to have this shiny new track.
I just find it so funny that I mean, if they're to be believed, clearly a new track must take a lot of time and resources, and yet they've made the entire Vietnam track, and it's never ever going to be raced on.
And we've already had Zandvoort made, and it's not been raced on yet.
Yeah.
Well, I heard something like someone said apparently it takes 10 years to properly make a track. Remember that? So
Laughs
Apparently-
in Project Cars 2, Assetto
Project
Cars
Corsa
3.
Competizione.
well, I mean, apparently F1 2010 took 200 years to make them.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think whoever said it, I think the genuine estimate is it takes about 6 months to do a track.
Yeah, from the ground up, I can see
Yeah.
that taking, that sort of time to do it properly. I reckon a bodge job, you could probably take Turkey and reskin it in 3 months.
Probably. But would you want a reskinned F1 2011 track that wouldn't race properly? Or would you want a
Well, I
proper
mean,
track?
it's just the track. You drop it into the game and it'll be on the 2021 physics engine, won't it? So all you've got to do is check the curb profiles and update the paddock.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Codemasters.
And if you're struggling that much, hire some people. Ask EA for a bit more money. It's not like they're short of the stuff.
Yeah, but they are stingy.
Yeah, we know that. But they're rich, so.
Yeah,
Rich doesn't always necessarily mean
Rich can give
splash
to the
cash.
poor.
I think they give me a dividend every so often of like a pence for being a shareholder, so it's okay. EA give me money.
You're part of the problem.
When I saw that news that EA were taking over Codemasters, like it was my worst nightmare. The pain that both companies have caused me for the last 10 or so years.
What company would you rather have taken over Cody's?
Anyone, but EA. Literally anyone.
Turn 10.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they make
2K.
great racing
Definitely
games.
2K. Definitely. Be one.
I would love to have seen Turn 10 take them over because Forza is just a masterpiece every year.
Who makes Project Cars?
Codemasters.
Yeah.
Well, it's a company that's Mad Dog Studios.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's
Who are now owned by Codemasters, who are now owned by EA.
By
So
EA.
EA makes Project Cars.
Umbrella Company. Cool. Love that. Always ends so well for the small company.
Yes.
Like I said, EA's purchase acquisition history.
Well, it's like,
But
like I was saying earlier, it's like
in
it's
fairness,
an
Project
ordeal.
Cars 3 was a disastrous game. They removed pit stops and everything. 1 and 2 were great. 3 was what
Dog.
even was 3?
The
Looked
thing
good.
is, like,
Wasn't good racing.
thing is, like I was saying earlier, it's an ordeal as it is to do a 5-lap race on the F1 games with the EA servers. it's going to be impossible. Like, you can't, even now, you can't go into a race without getting black screened or like cars leaving the grid before you've loaded in or something.
Yeah.
I just dread to think what EA are going to come up with.
From having played F1 2021, Richard and I were lucky enough to be part of the beta program. It actually ran quite smoothly.
Yeah, I will admit.
Albeit that's a lot smaller of a player base, but ran well. A few bugs, but that's to be expected in pre-release.
Mate, I got absolutely clouted by my own teammate under a safety car. And just I got Roman Grosjean, but it was actually Ericsson that hit me. So, yeah, there was some questionable bugs in the game. But obviously that's why the beta exists in the first place. So,
but as we've seen from other content creators that have been allowed to release proper footage of the game, some interesting new things as well, like the upgrading of a VSC to a full safety car, mid-safety car, which I think is pretty fun. And there's also new radio messages about safety cars.
Yeah, you get those quite. I got
as
those
we
quite
know
a
from
lot.
from the first day we played, I think I received the same message about 5 times in a row.
Yeah, it was very annoying. It was like, okay, they're not looking to pull out a safety. They've pulled out a safety car. What? Make your mind up, Jeff. Okay, the safety car's coming in this lap. What?
Yeah, so the radio did require a little bit of bug fixing, but
yeah, it was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of debris on the track, and then oh yeah, we're not looking to bring out a safety car. Yes, we've brought out a safety car. And it's like, oh my god, Jeff, just shut up. It's like it's literally like 45 seconds of just Jeff.
Yeah. Also, we can confirm that Jeff is back.
Yeah, Jeff is in the game.
Yeah, Jeff
Big win.
We still want Mick Schumacher's race engineer, just saying.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah.
Although that'd be like almost too soothing halfway through a race.
That is the only thing I will pay for is Gary Gannon voice DLC. That's it.
Bono would be nice just for when you win.
In there, driver.
Get in there, player bay.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
I'm going to
instead of a new strategy is available in the MFD. I'm
going to assume the AI is still getting your way for every single qualifying lap, and they're just generally very annoying.
In all honesty, I didn't do a lot of qualifying.
Yeah, not against AI.
I didn't do much qualifying at all.
I did qualifying, but I did one-shot quali against people. So
yeah.
Okay.
They should also get Kimmy's race engineer as well.
Mate, they should just get Kimmy as your
stay
responses.
Stay out.
Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing. Stay out. Oh, it's too late now.
There's so much that they could do in F1 games in the future.
Yeah.
Getting drivers involved in some way.
Just get Lando in. Radio check, please.
And also new for this year's game is a slight difference in R&D. Instead of getting the massive tree, you can choose to just go for simple R&D, and you just go, yeah, develop my chassis, and it does it for you. I'm pretty sure I'd heard. If not, I've misunderstood a press release somewhere, but I'll find out in an hour and 45, an hour and 42, actually. From us,
they've changed the assists as well. So you have a casual assist settings. So basically, it just sorts out all your assists for you, or you can tune it to your exact liking.
Yeah, there's casual, there's normal, and there's expert.
Yeah,
like casual came in last year, but they've added expert this year.
So it's good.
It's a good game, and I hope you'll enjoy it if you have decided to buy it. So an hour and 41 minutes, Richard, until the first
not
race.
that you're counting.
Well, will you be joining me?
I'm probably editing this, to be honest.
Oh, that's a good point.
Or at least rendering.
Yeah. Well, if it's rendering, you can play.
Yeah, well, by rendering, I mean loading it into the program, because that takes an age.
Fair. Yeah. And so let's talk about Silverstone, because that is
just briefly the player ratings. Lando Norris has got a 91 and his contract's only 4.5 million.
Yeah,
That is
Yeah.
my bet for bang for buck driver.
that's your top tip.
Yeah, it seems to be the best one so far. But part of me is just like Jensen.
Yeah.
But then part of me is like Michael, and then part of me looks at the price tag and goes, no Michael. No Michael
Back
for
to
me.
Jensen.
Jensen.
He's not expensive, to be fair, but Lando Norris 4.5. Obviously, you'll then probably end up in a bidding war with McLaren. But 91 rated. So
We'll end up in a bidding war and it'll end up like 12 million.
yeah, and you won't have saved any money anyway.
Well, unless it's like season 3 and you're just rich
Yeah.
because you don't spend any more money.
Silverstone, sprint quali, the first outing, the half Grand Prix.
Yes. What do we all think?
I'm skeptically optimistic.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun just to
Yeah.
give it a shot.
It's something different, isn't it? So, and we always complain that F1 stays the same for too long, and they're trying something, and it's a trial. So obviously that means things can be tweaked, things can be changed, improvements can be made if obvious improvements are found, like reverse grid, top 10.
I'm slightly worried it's going to be a bit processional. Obviously,
That's-
people aren't going to want to take risks, and also any surprises that happen in qualifying, it's going to undo them probably, isn't it?
Yeah, in some
That is the
respects,
risk, yeah.
in some respects, I see that happening. In other respects, I see the bottom half of the field trying to move up into the top half to get a better start point, because there's no more what Q2 tire you starts the race sort of thing. It's just tires.
Have we established the tyre rules? Because they released that press statement, obviously, a while ago about how it was working, and it didn't make much sense. So yeah, do we know how tyres are working this weekend?
I believe it's just literally qualify, and then there's your sprint tire. Have at it. Just here's some. You get like 2 sets for the sprint tires, and then it's just whatever's left for the actual
For the
feature race.
Yeah, but what will you start on?
Whatever you want.
I think you do. Yeah, I think you can get a new
Yeah.
set.
Everyone has free choice. They said that just choose. So
Because it's fair to say I'll be watching the sessions very closely on Friday. I'm sadly working on Saturday and Sunday, so I'll be watching it on delay. But how's that going to work for Fantasy F1? Who's getting the pole position points?
Pole position points is determined by who wins the sprint race.
Okay.
Because there's points on offer, 3, 2, and 1 for first, second, and third.
Yeah, there's championship points available.
No fastest lap point, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, minimal points on offer, which kind of
But still points.
yeah, true, still points. But yeah, the fantasy gets locked after FP1, so it gets locked on Friday evening,
as opposed to Saturday morning,
because qualifying starts.
Yes.
So yes, interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the teams deal with the split practice.
Yeah.
Because you have an hour of practice, then you qualify, then you have another hour of practice where you can't change anything on the car, and then you have a sprint race.
Surely they won't be in Parc Fermé.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it. There was a timeline, and it was like Parc Fermé is applied from the start of qualifying. So,
what's the point of the second practice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be
race
all race
strategy. Yeah, it's literally. I think it's just going to be race runs, to be honest. Like, it's just going to turn Friday's free practice session into a quali practice.
Yeah, Friday will become FP2. What FP2 normally is, it'll be done in FP1. And the long runs that you usually see in FP1, you'll see in FP2 on the. Are we still getting Q1, Q2, and Q3 on the
Yeah,
Friday?
yeah.
Yeah,
Standard qualifying format.
just for less reward.
Yes. And
Yes.
no
It's going to
Pirelli
be
mini
weird.
tyre.
It's going to be weird seeing a pole position. Well, for a
Not
start,
be a
the
pole.
qualify. Yeah, and then the pole position awarded for a race.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Because
can't
there's
imagine
no
Crofty being
podium.
like. I can't imagine Crofty being like, "Oh, Max Verstappen takes pole position for the British Grand Prix." He's actually
After
crossing the
30
line
laps.
to win a race.
Yeah.
And Max Verstappen win. No, he doesn't win. He's taken pole position.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a nightmare for the commentators.
Find out on
Looking
Monday
forward
to
to
see
it.
how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, it's something we
Um,
can't really judge until we see it happening.
Predictions. Richard, who have you got for pole? The
Max.
real pole for Sunday.
Max.
Alex,
Yeah, Verstappen.
Ben,
Super Max.
Nia.
I'll go with Lewis, just because it's British Grand Prix.
As much as it
Find your
pains,
lack of faith disturbing.
yeah, as much as it pains me to admit it, I think I'm going to have to go with Lewis not Lewis, Max as well. Sorry, it doesn't pay me to admit it when Lewis gets pole. I'm a Mercedes fan. God damn it. Ocon for pole positions. No, Max is going to take pole. Race podiums. Proper race, not fake race. Alex.
I kind of wanted to put Hamilton to win and then Norris to go on the podium and say F1's coming home, but I kind of
football didn't come home, did
yeah,
it?
exactly. That phrase is kind of
Ham Norris.
So I am going to say Hamilton to win just because Silverstone. I'm hoping he pulls something special out, and then Verstappen, Bottas.
Ben.
I have got Hamilton to win, Verstappen second, Perez third.
Nia.
Gone the same, Hamver Perez.
Richard.
I went Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna go Hamverbot. We're gonna bring it back.
El Classic.
Yes.
We're all putting a lot of faith in Hamilton on race day, considering how dominant the Red Bull has been.
Hey, I'm not.
Apart from you, yeah.
So, Richard, do we have anyone from social media this week?
We do, but briefly, Sonia went for Verstappen on pole and a podium of Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris.
Oh.
So, social media wise, Lily, ye old faithful, Hamverbot, pole position, Hamilton. Mackenzens did not give us a pole position prediction, but said Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez for the podium. And then leeching off the Team WTF on Discord server, I also got Connor, who predicted Verstappen on pole and Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris for the podium. And my mate Matt went for the ludicrous. He said Norris on pole, Hamilton, Norris, Verstappen podium.
Fair.
I am kind of dreaming of a Hamilton win, Norris podium, Russell points.
I mean, to
Just
be fair,
the
Yeah.
crowd will
fair,
go wild if that happens.
Norris pole isn't as outrageous as saying that last year would have been, given how close he was to
Yeah.
Austria.
I think like he said himself, I think it was like just for Austria because they're really strong in Austria. Like he said himself,
we'll find out soon.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
I think
even
it'd be tight at Monza.
he said himself that people shouldn't have that much faith for him to get pole in Silverstone because it's like a completely different track to Austria.
It's
much longer.
It's
and
not
more
a pure
technical.
speed circuit.
It's a
actually
high
technical
downforce service.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lando, would just come out that after the football match when he was at Wembley, he got robbed from his Richard Mille watch because he got grabbed by one of the people who didn't get tickets and like standing outside and just basically attacking everyone. He got grabbed by someone and then someone else tore off his Richard Mille prototype watch. So I hope him and Max Future are okay because that seems quite scary.
So on Thursday at
1:30,
Yeah.
1:30.
1:30.
Half past one UTC.
So that's 2:30 BST or 3 p.m. BST. I'm not exactly sure what time is the right one because we've been told 2 times.
But hang on.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
doing
go
a
to
time zone conversion.
Formula1.com.
Time zone converter. Dink.
1:30 UTC is 2:30 BST. It's 3 o'clock British Standard Time is the stream on
Well, that's
F1.
interesting. Because that's not what their Twitter said.
Well, their website says something different.
Classic F1.
So on Thursday at some point
In the afternoon, if you're in Europe.
Yeah, they are revealing a full-size F1 2022 car for the first time. And they're also going to be talking fans through its design process, etc., etc. So make sure you tune in
18-inch rims!
across Formula One's social media channels. Okay, let's do bold predictions. And let's go to Nia first, because her usual one we decided was disqualified.
FIA time penalty incoming.
So, Nia.
Let's go with George gets into Q3 again and gets points.
Okay, so George for
Considering
points.
Q3, he got into Q3 last week, so I'm hoping he does again because it worked last time. So I'm hoping he gets points as well.
Ben?
This could be a FAA 5-second penalty, but I have put it as a snooze fest.
No, that's legal. That's legal. Just saying an unexpected DNF, which is literally anything but someone pulling into the pits, is cheating.
We get it. We get it. Shut
You've
up.
received 2 penalty points on your Legoland driving license.
I received 2 penalty points. Shut up.
Definitely not better as our Nia.
It was at this moment the relationship in between the Turn 5 crew broke down. 16 episodes in.
Okay, well, Buxton.
Yeah, it's all right. I've got the Netflix camera crew in the room next door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to the point where I start speaking angry Welsh and no.
So, Alex, what are you going for?
I don't know. I want to do something involving the British drivers, but Russell for points as well. We always do it anyway. There will be contact. There will be a collision between 2 teammates that eliminates at least one of them. There you go.
So the 2 Hasses are going to take each other out as a tradition at Britain?
Like it did happen, didn't it? A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So
that's what led to Gunther's door getting smashed.
Yep.
Richard?
Danny Rick to finish exactly 1 place lower than Lando.
And I'm going to go... I wish I could go with rain, but that's just not going to happen. Unless I went rain across the weekend, in which case it's probable. But I'm going to go all 3 British drivers in the points.
Hope. Also, it is Silverstone, so it probably will rain at some point, even though it's not forecast.
He says British now. When none of them score points, he say English.
Paul di Resta, Scottish Formula One driver.
Yeah, you can have him. I don't want to.
And DC.
It's annoying.
You got him as well.
Yeah, as I say, DC. Yeah. Stirling Moss.
Then there's only one Welsh Formula One driver. He sadly passed away during a race.
Yes. Let's not dwell on that one.
No.
No.
You know what that means.
Mazepin Bingo.
Mazepin Bingo time. Do we need to get a jingle?
Yeah.
Mazepin Bingo.
Richard.
Okay,
Finish.
For reference, it's a 52-lap race.
Okay, 52 laps.
We're dealing with the Grand Prix. We're not dealing with any sprint race nonsense.
No. 52 laps, average lap time of about 1:40, I believe.
So I'm going to say... I'm going to say he will finish. I'm going to say he first get lapped on lap 52, 23.
And
he's going to finish 2 laps down.
Ben.
He will finish 1 lap down and he'll get lapped lap 24.
Alex.
You know what? I've said him to finish every single time. I'm going to go for no this time, just to change it up a bit.
Will he be lapped before he DNFs?
No, he's going to be the, like you said, the teammate
I was going to
contact.
say, you're trying to manifest your own prediction to come true, aren't you?
And
Yeah.
so that then proves the question: what lap will he DNF?
I guess I've got to go lap 1.
Lap 1.
Yeah.
Nia.
He is gonna finish. He's gonna get lapped on lap 25. All
Mhm.
faithful. And he's gonna be 3 laps down.
3 laps down around Silverstone. That's quite bold.
Stick with what you know.
I'm going to go with yes, he'll finish. He'll be lapped first around lap 27 because I've got a feeling a safety car will help him out a bit. And he'll finish 2 laps down because there's going to be a slow stop or something. So
Nia's basically praying he makes that contact and he loses his front wing twice.
Yeah.
He loses his front wing, and then on the way out the pits, he does a Grosjean and loses the next front wing.
or does a Mick Schumacher. He just leaves it on the pit exit.
Yeah.
Mick was actually on the racetrack though. Grosjean was
point, yeah.
in the Silverstone pits.
yeah. So
That's a
I
point.
haven't.
Grosjean spun it in the Silverstone pits. Grosjean didn't get any penalty points on his license.
Grosjean didn't get any penalty.
I feel like it's probably because he was after the speed limiter line, and he was after
That's
the
even
end of.
worse.
He was after the end of the last garage, so there was no
Yeah, I suppose it's
personnel.
like,
There's
he's
no
not
personnel, but
putting anyone in
spinning it
danger.
there is even worse.
Yeah, if he's not putting anyone in danger.
So, but still,
That's
That's
putting
true because
himself
no
in
one else
danger.
happened to
Yeah.
going out of the pits, though.
FIA.
Like, he could have ruined people's races. I
mean,
know it was
Yeah.
a practice session, but imagine doing that in the race as other people have pitted, and you're just sitting there in the pit exit.
the great Ferrari master plan: sacrifice a customer engine team.
Imagine someone spins in the pit lane, they just face the other driver, they turn to the Spider-Man meme, just
Yeah.
the
It's like-
teammates look at each other, just like,
I'm shocked that's never happened in Abu Dhabi with the weird pit exit they've got. No one, I don't think anyone's ever crashed down there.
Yet.
Yeah. I think that would be the quickest red flag ever of just someone spinning in the pits and just other people just sitting there like, Michael, help.
Would it cause a red flag though?
It would
The
have to,
race-
surely.
The racetrack's
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah, but you can't have people unfairly stuck in the pit lane.
Don't pit that.
You'll have the FIA team radio. You see, like,
Everyone
Mercedes
comes up at once.
we need a red flag, and Mike be like, "Well, it was your own fault."
Michael, come on, he's costing us the position.
This guy's going to cost us the position.
the FIA team
did not.
radio, it just keeps coming up, and it's basically a rainbow, but the amount it comes up.
We race as one.
Yeah.
So, Richard, I've not forgotten anything else, have I?
No, that was all I had on my list.
Great.
The moth is gone.
So,
there was a
join us
moth outside
next
the window.
week to discuss British Grand Prix. Oh, what feeder categories have we got this weekend?
We have Formula
F2.
2
Formula
and
2.
W Series.
W Series.
Ooh,
So
I
where
saw
we'll
the
talk
W
about
Series
F2 and W Series a bit more. Hopefully they'll have fixed their broadcast shenanigans for W Series because I actually want to be able to watch it and not have to try and find it on demand.
The races should be like live on Channel 4
Yeah.
or More 4.
Yeah, but race 1 was on More 4. So that's where I set my recording
Yeah.
series link. And then the second race was on Channel 4. So my
Yeah.
recording missed it.
I'll do my best to put out a tweet that says where you can find everything for W Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'll have a look at the end of the broadcast. Well, of the podcast. We're not broadcasting this, I hope.
We come to you live.
I think we should do that one week. Live podcast.
100th episode.
We have what, one viewer?
Why?
And that would be my mum, because she'd feel sorry for me.
Good laugh.
I just get all my friends like, please watch, please, guys, please
Plus,
watch.
Plus see us rip the mick out of each other. But
Can't wait for you to have another dodgy fantasy week.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching or listening, depending on where you enjoy Turn 5's content. And we will see you next week. Ta-ra for now.